I'm feeling good.
When someone publicly suggests that African doctors should refuse treatment to Black Americans because of a boycott, it's not just a reckless comment, it's a betrayal of both morality and professional duty. To even entertain the idea of withholding healthcare as retaliation is ethically bankrupt. Medicine is not a tool for vengeance. It's not a favor. It's a responsibility. Denying treatment based on cultural or national disagreements reduces healthcare to a petty power play and strips it of its foundational purpose, healing. And for those wearing the white coat, there's a line etched in the core of the profession, the Hippocratic Oath. Not a suggestion, not a guideline, but a sworn obligation. Do no harm. Care for the sick. Show up regardless of race, identity, ideology. Any doctor choosing to ignore this oath in favor of political point scoring is no longer practicing medicine. They're practicing contempt. Even beyond that, anyone working in healthcare, doctors, nurses, techs, therapists, every single one should know that speaking about denying treatment to any group of people violates the very code they agreed to uphold. This isn't just about what you do with your hands. It's about what you do with your voice. You don't get to publicly speculate about withholding care and still expect to be trusted with it. TikToker Payback Time 2 made this statement, and it's not just provocative, it's dangerous. It encourages a mindset that undermines the very essence of medical ethics and community care. If you're in the medical field and you echo this sentiment, you're not just expressing an opinion, you're signaling that you're willing to abandon your duty when it's inconvenient. Let's talk about the irony. Black Americans built the foundation for civil rights in this country, including the legal and institutional access that allows African professionals to even step into medical roles here. The suggestion to deny them care spits on that history and erases the sacrifices that cleared the path. This isn't clapback culture. This is cruelty dressed up as commentary. You don't have to like the boycott, but if your response is to wish illness on people who've raised legitimate concerns about businesses, then you're not defending your community. You're disgracing it. Care is sacred. Anyone willing to corrupt it over internet arguments was never holding it sacred to begin with.
What's up, fam? So y'all remember the other day the African lady got online and said that she's going to make all her African family and friends that work in the healthcare field refuse care to Black Americans. And if we try to come to any of their businesses, they will not let us in. They will not help us, which she didn't know was discrimination. But I just want to let y'all know, fam, we not playing around here. We ain't sleeping around here. We're round the clock. So homegirl don't got a job no more. So she's going to be in the unemployment line. And they like to scream Section 8. She'll probably need that. And she'll probably need some food stamps because we took that job, y'all. Straight up snatched that bitch.
The Black American want to go to war. Let's try. Let's see. All of us that call out one day from work, all of us across the United States, all immigrants call out from work. Yes. If they want to go to war, let's see what they can prove. And also, all immigrants, like your businesses from all Black Americans. Simple as that. Don't let them go into your grocery store. Don't let them go into your restaurant. Don't let them go into your salon. You want to go to war? We will. And also, we can ask all our African doctors, boycott all Black American treatment. Like I said, you don't want to go to war with Africans.
So good morning. I'm responding to another video. Like I always say, any video I do, it will be based on the response. I will not do a video that I'm not responding. I'm always responding. And you will edit my response to the way you feel. But the fact of the matter is I have the original. And that can defend me in court at any given time. You threaten to call my job. You think I'm afraid? No, I am not afraid. I do my job diligently. I don't care where color you are. I've been a caregiver for the rest of my life before coming to the United States. I'm a survivor of torture and rape. I'm a survivor of abuse. So I know what it is when you abuse somebody. I know what it is when somebody is sick and they need care. I know what it is that when somebody is relying on you to be their foot, be their hand, and be their voice. I know what it is because I was in that position before. I was in a position where I could not shower myself. I could not bathe myself. I could not speak for myself. It took other people who had a good heart to care for me. That's how I came into this field, because of the love other people showed me when I was in that condition. So I felt that I should be able to give back to people of that condition. So calling my job is not going to help you. That's one. Two, I did that video responding to what you guys said. Like I said, in the beginning of that video, I said there is a response to what you guys were calling for. You, FBA, sat on your platform and called for you to boycott African businesses, African breeding, African food, and everything that has to do with Africa. In fact, y'all went on saying if you identify any African in the midst of Black Americans, they should be kicked out. So you were calling for them to be attacking African. And in response, I said, good. Now that you're calling for a war on us, then this is what I am asking for us to do in return if you do what you say you're gonna do. So I hope you get that. And I'm not afraid to speak out. I'm an advocate. I've been an advocate all my life. I've been a human rights advocate. I've been a political activist. So you're not going to scare me. No, you're not. You stalk me. You go on my Facebook. If you went on my Facebook, did you see it? Oh, yeah, I said what I said. It is time for the African, specifically Liberian. We have invested all over the world and we have never invested back home. It is time for us to start to invest back home. If that hurts your feeling, boy, then get up and go and work. Go and work and pay taxes. When we pay our taxes, whatever money is left with us, oh yeah, we have the right to do whatever we want to do. Like I told you, I cannot go to Liberia. This is now my home. This is my home. Okay? I came here running away from my life. So this is my home. But in as much that this is my home, that I love so much, yes, I still got my children living in Africa. I still got my family living in Africa. So yes, if I work here and pay my taxes and pay my rent and pay every bill that I'm supposed to pay, whatever left with me, I can do what the hell I want to do with it. I can send it to my children. So if you think me coming over here it means that I deny the rest of my family in Africa, boy, you got it wrong. You FBA started a fight. This fight wasn't on TikTok. You FBA took the TikTok. You FBA started attacking African. You FBA, whatever fight you have going on with a group of Nigerians, you extended that fight to all African. You extended that fight to all African. And you didn't just stop there. When you were doing that before my president, Joseph Yuma Boakai, came to the United States to meet with Trump. How did you call my president? You call him name. You call him fool. You said he was bleaching. You said us out of shit about my president. I didn't come back talking to President Trump because President Trump is also my president that I support. But like I said, you FBA, you being paid by some big hands to split up the Black community, and we're not going to sit there and let it go through. Whatever you say, we will come back with a response. So I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to speak out the truth. I'm not. I will tell you the truth. If you are calling, you call for African American, for not all, because I know everybody ain't going to follow your nonsense, but you FBA were calling for Black Americans to boycott African businesses. Yes, African businesses. That's what you said. Boycott all African businesses. Oh, you forgot that? Oh, you forgot when you said that when you identify an African in the midst of Black, they should be kicked out? You forgot when you said that? So I was only responding to what you said. And like I said, when you call my job, yes, they will ask me. And I will write a report. That's how the system works over here. I will write a report and I will present all the evidence, all the videos, everything you said. Yes, they should attack African businesses. They should attack Africans when they see us in person. Yes, everything you said. I have all of your videos, over 100 videos. I downloaded them. I'm not afraid. Okay, so go on, do just what you think you want to do.
So this video is going to be a little bit controversial, but if you know me, you know I don't give a damn. So let's just have out with it. A couple of days ago, literally a couple of days ago, I logged onto this app, and I only really saw like maybe one person talking about boycotting African businesses. And my eyes got wide and I was like, what? So then I started searching through the videos, and I was like, I saw this African woman saying, oh, we're gonna boycott black people. Then there was like a nurse saying that she's not gonna treat black patients. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with y'all? So I'm just gonna speak to African immigrants in this country right now, because I just want to know, were you out there fighting with us when dogs were being sicked on us, when we had to abide by the black codes, when our communities that we built up were burnt to the ground, when our communities, thriving communities, wealthy communities, for us, by us, were being flooded? Were you out there with us when there was redlining? Were you out there marching with us just to be able to vote and have a say-so in this country that we were supposed to be free in? Okay? Were you out there with us, freedom fighting, freedom riding? Okay? Just to be able to be seen as human. Were you out there with my ancestors? Okay? Were you out there with them, bearing the bruises, the marks on their backs from the whip? Were you out there with them when they were in their homes and people in white sheets were burning crosses on their lawns? When they were being spat upon and ridiculed for simply existing in a space where they did not want us to be free, and definitely not equal. So how dare you come here and try to ingratiate and assimilate into whitey culture, and then assimilate and accept the stereotypes and perpetrate those same racist dog whistles against the very people that fought, bled, and died for you to even have the right to come here and be free. Okay? Let's not forget, for you to come here, you are running from poverty in your own country, from war in your own country, from genocide most times in your own country. But it was my ancestors that allowed you to have the freedom to come here, so you can seek asylum. Because if not, why not stay in your own country? I just want to put that to you all. So, but then you come here and you say, oh, black Americans are lazy. Because that's what the whitey people wanted you to say, to keep the divide. You came here just like brown people, thinking that you're one step above black Americans. And that is because there are more of us together than there are of them. And they know where there's unity, there is power. And that is their biggest fear. But you all are allowing them to use you to divide us, the people that look like you, the people that have similar struggles as you. You think because you come here and you try to blend in or act like them and say the same things about us as they do, perpetrate the same stereotypes, you think that ingratiates you into their good graces, their well wishes? No, they don't like you either. So now let me speak to my black Americans. Yes, I know that many of you have seen the disrespect from African immigrants that come here. I myself, it has not been my experience personally. okay? And I grew up in a culturally diverse area. South Florida, there were many cultures. But as far as African, as far as Black people, that was not my experience, the disrespect from African immigrants towards Black people. But that does not disguise or dispute the fact that it happens, because I have now been seeing it more lately in the media, especially lately. Essence Festival, I've been seeing it. So I know that it is real. I know that their biases are real. But let me tell you, we are doing exactly and buying into that age-old playbook, that age-old action that the white tea man, the white tea supremacists wants us to buy into. They don't have to do anything to divide us. We're turning against ourselves, and you know why? It's because that's what they know. It's where they come from. Because for centuries, Europeans have turned on their own. They kicked them out of Europe. It was called transportation. They were undesirable to them, so they banished them to the colonies. That is their ancestry, and you all are allowing them to pull that same shit on you. Now, I'm not telling you to go kiss no one's ass, because we don't have to. Our culture that they say that we don't have is emulated around the globe. Children in Africa dress like we do. Children in Asia dance and sing like we do. Gospel in Japan, singing gospel like we do. Our food is emulated around the world. The delicacies that we have were scraps. Those were scraps that they gave us that we turned into delicacies. Now they can't get enough of them. But what we cannot do as Black Americans is allow the same trick of the enemy, of the white oppressor, of the colonizer, okay? The white supremacists who want to keep us divided, to keep us powerless. We can't continue to allow that to be our progressive action. We can't have a knee-jerk reaction to this same age-old playbook. At some point, because it hasn't worked in all this time, at some point, we have got to come together with the people that look like us, that have the same similarities, that have gone through oppression like us in their own countries, regardless of who it was from, regardless of if it was by their own people, regardless if they have corrupt Black African leaders that are bowing to Western pressure. At some point, we, the people, have got to come together and take a stand, and got to unify in order to take that stand, because a house divided will not stand. I don't care if you call yourself a foundational Black American or an African American, or if you think, okay, well, I was here first. I don't give a fuck who was here first. It's about who's standing last. So while we're sitting here bickering amongst each other, white supremacists that be are rolling back our rights and our freedoms. And they're doing it while we're sitting here bickering amongst each other.
They don't show you that kind of video because some of you in the FBA have an agenda, and the agenda is to separate the Black community. That is your agenda. You are playing right into the book of your white tea master. That's what you're doing, because if you were not playing into the book of your white tea master, you will be able to see the good videos I have made. You will be able to know that I have advocated, I have spoken against the abuse of black people in this country. They could have shown you that. You think if I was that bad, you think they didn't call the state on me? They did. They called my job. My supervisor called me. She's like, oh God, do they really know who you are? I said, ma'am, leave them. We're going to take time. Let them keep talking. Because they don't know me. They don't follow me. I have my first account called Payback 1. They reported me. Group of white people reported me because I was supporting Trump. Because I said the fact that Trump released over 1,000 black men from prison, the fact that he released a woman that was sentenced to prison since 1980, I will stand by him any given time. The fact that he overturned law that incarcerated a lot of black people into prison, I will support him. Go on my page. Those videos are there. So for me now to see a group of black men within the same Republican Party that I am supporting, talking about.
So I'm making this video for the FBA, okay? So let me make this clear. First of all, I am grateful for the opportunity to be here in the United States. That's number one. Like I said, I'm a person of rule of law. That's the reason why I support Trump. I do not support people jumping over the borders and breaking the law. I do not believe in people coming and analyzing other people. No. That's why I support Trump. I support him because I believe he will bring back American companies, and he will do everything he can so that America can stay out of other country resources, so that those country citizens will not have to flee to the U.S. for survival. But what I would not do, I would not sit here and allow a so-called group of minority that call themselves FBA. I'm a Trump supporter. And a lot of Trump supporters are also black African. But they are not, the majority of black supporters for Trump are not the one pushing this FBA agenda. So I'm not going to sit there and the FBA tell me as an African, I come here, I got to suck up to them, I got to bow to them. No. Like I said, and I'll repeat, I'm not buying them to no black person. I'm not buying them to no white person. Yes, I can bow down to the system because that's the law that is in place. If the law say don't go left, I'm not going to go left. If the police officer pull me over and say driver's license, I will respectfully give him the driver's license. I'm not going to be fighting with the officer back and forth. I'm not going to be disrespecting the officer in uniform. Okay? I will not do that. If that is the only way you think we have to identify with you FBA, then I'm sorry. Secondly, you FBA, you say you're not African American. You say you were never brought your own slave. You say you are indigenous. So if you are indigenous, when we talking anything that has to do with African American and African, don't get on our platform. Because we, the African and the African American, we do get along. Are we perfect in getting along? No, we do not get along in everything we do. We cuss, we fight, we say a lot of shit to each other, but in the end, we realize and we recognize that we are all African descent. However, you FBA, you say you're not African. You don't have no African lineage. You were never brought here on ship. You were never part of slavery. So that make you an indigenous. And if you are an indigenous, then that separates you from us. If you saying because today you claiming that you are indigenous, so when I come here, I'm supposed to suck off to you, no FBA. You don't have that right to ask me that. The only person who can tell me that, maybe the African American can tell me, hey sister, you know I have to lay the base for you to come, yes. Because he already identified himself as an African American. But you, the FBA, you are not African American. You say you are not African American. You say you are indigenous from this land. And you say you are indigenous from this land. Why are you angry when the African trying to support the African American to obtain a reparation? You're not a slave, so you're not entitled to it anyway. So why meddle into it? You are foundational black, indigenous black American. Since you are indigenous, you were never brought here, your ancestors were never brought here against their will, then do not get angry with us.
Moreover, I always say, you're not pointing your fight to the right place. If you want law to change, go to Congress. If you want policy to change, go to Congress. Not us. Stop attacking the Africans. Like I said, you started this whole fight. You FBA, you started attacking African. We did nothing to you. On internet, oh yeah, the both parties bully each other. African American will say, oh, the African don't speak good English, they come from the slum. And the African will say, yeah, in your own country you poor as hell. They will always bully each other. That have been there from generation, years. It have been happening, but it never ever escalated or never ever got to the level it have reached, all because of FBA. And like I said, there's a clear strategy to divide the black community, and you, the FBA, is being sponsored by somebody, a very big hand. And you're not only separating the black community, you are also going to cause the percentage of the African that supported Trump to back out. Because you that doing this FBA, you are part of MAGA. I am part of MAGA. And if you keep attacking me as a MAGA fan, what you think gonna happen? I'm gonna back out. And if I back out, all the immigrants who support Trump gonna see that and say, oh no, wait, hold on. Oh, we supported Trump and now we have a group or handful of MAGA group attacking us. Everybody gonna draw back. And those votes gonna be lost. I don't see you attacking other nations. We got the Indian that are into businesses. We got the Chinese that are into businesses. You didn't go attacking them, but you choose the most smallest group of immigrants, us African. You call us Buddhist crashers, you call our names, you FBA. And like I said, always my video is not directed to African American. My video is directed to FBA. Indigenous Black American who call themselves Indigenous. This video is, anytime you see me doing a video, I'm responding to the FBA. FBA, short wedding. Now I got a call from my job. So now that I got the call, I'll get my embassy involved, I'll get my lawyers involved, I'll get the Human Rights Commission involved, I will get all of them involved because I'm here under the UN protection. So I will get them involved and they will respond. Not me. Okay? And I will say, FBA, you are doing Mr. Trump a very good favor. Because you know why? You are literally tearing apart everything he's trying to do. He's trying to build good relationship with Africa. You are there tearing it apart. He is trying to make good relationship, good trade businesses, but you are tearing it apart. Because when you continue attacking Africans, you want all Africans out of the United States, well, they will leave. Like I said, African who came here and naturalized and become citizens, they work in every sector of the United States. So if you want them to leave, that's every sector. You did not select a sector. You say all Africans should leave. That means African bank, African businesses, African in the military, African in healthcare, African in Uber driving, African in police, African in every sector. That's what you're calling for. But then when we respond to what you say, you edit videos and send it. By the way, all your original videos that you all did on TikTok, I got them. I go to your live screen, I see you talking, I take my phone, I record. I have everything you said and we will present them too. So like I said, I will always be smiling. I will always be smiling because you know why? I'm a human rights advocate. I'm an activist. We all know how to build cases. And to, what's this group name? What is name? Hold on. America Free Men Freeman legal team, whatever you call it. Say America Freeman legal team. That's how you call yourself, or legal force, whatever you call yourself. Do me a favor. Every time you receive a video, go to that account and check the person profile. Check everything they've been doing. Don't just file cases against people when you don't know their history. Thank you. And yes, FBA, you are racist. And Trump is not racist. You are racist.
Calling all 𝒲𝒃𝓎 haters, especially you nurses and doctors. I hear y'all getting in trouble. I hear some of y'all getting fired. I hear some of y'all getting reprimanded. I thought y'all was better than us. I thought we didn't need y'all. I thought we didn't have no sway over here. How the hell are y'all getting fired? I am so happy for you. This looks so good on you. I hear y'all crying on panels now, talking about they put me out of my station and put me under a investigation. Beautiful, beautiful. Good job, FBA. Keep up the good work. Fuck being African. Foundational Black Americans gonna show you bitches. We gonna show you. Y'all need us. Craig, the world needs us.
Now, do you remember this idiot got online with her whole chest telling Africans, Caribbeans, and whoever was listening to try to counterattack what we said we're doing, and had the nerves to tell or suggest that African doctors working in our country would stop treating Black Americans. That is a whole crime. We could have brought the whole medical industry down to their knees if they were stupid enough to listen to this child. So now she got the Freeman, what are they called? The Freeman Nation. I think I heard about them some time ago. I think they're like rebooting the Freeman Bureau that was erected after slavery. And it really, well, it was a good idea, but they ended up, a lot of people that was running it, white folks, ended up literally stealing millions of dollars from freed men and women. Yeah, do some research, check that out, or I might do a video on it. But anyway, the American Freedmen Legal Fund jumped in on that ass. I told y'all need to start writing these checks that your ass can't cash. They said, we have received all her work information. We are moving forward. We now have full documentation and her employment and professional affiliations. Because of her actions, Freedmen patients are being placed at risk. This is not only unethical, it is a direct threat to our community's health and safety. Let this be clear. If you choose to attack freedmen while serving in institutions that operate within the U.S., understand that you are accountable under the very systems you work for, idiot. Do not call for war. They didn't say that. I said that. Do not call for war while collecting paychecks under the protections of this country. You cannot work in public service and harm the public. We are moving forward with a formal complaint. Every policy, every license, every oath, we will hold you to it. Support the American Freedmen Legal Fund with a donation. And they are on Twitter. I'll post their link in the description of the short. Yeah, these people, you got to think about it. What happened when these people came to this country and got on a high horse or got on something and thought they was actually running things? I really do believe they thought. Hispanics, Asians, Africans, Indians, they really thought. I don't know what these white racists told them, but they believed it. Now they getting a cold reality check.
I can say wholeheartedly, as an African American who worked alongside, or excuse me, as a BHT, for those who don't know what that means, is behavioral health technician, right? Where I take vitals, do one-on-ones, help turn down the service. It's basically a glorified CNA. There ain't no more important. A behavioral health technician is a glorified CNA. Okay? We just don't deal with actually we did deal with the elderly. Not too many, but we did. People of all ages. Anywho, in my time as a BHT, I can say the people that treated me the worst were not people, but the subcategorical group of people. Because it wasn't all Africans that treated me bad. In fact, Some of the best people, the people that treated me the best were Africans. But then you have those one-off situations where they quite literally cannot tame their hatred for you. Let me make it perfectly clear. The Africans that are full of self-hate make it so bad for the Africans that actually are loving and genuine. Because there was a lot of them that were actually loving and genuine during my time at Oasis Behavioral Health. There was a lot. I got switched off of a unit where one of the nurse practitioners, whose name was Miriam, she was bullying the African Americans, and she told me to my face that African Americans are lazy and basically try to discredit my mother's credentials because I didn't know her specialization at the time. I don't fucking go to work with her, bitch. How would I know her specialization if I'm not there with her? I also wasn't there when she was in school. You know what I mean? Like, that's not something that I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't give a shit. Long as she got the white coat, I was cool. So she basically tried to call me a liar and was like, your mom's not a doctor, your mom's not da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, girl, okay. My mom actually had to intervene. Like, the bullying got so bad with the nurse Miriam at Oasis Behavioral Health here in Arizona that my mom had to intervene. And she intervened through her. At the prison she worked at, there was a nurse that was underneath her. Not underneath, but you know what I mean. Like, they work with you, they work alongside you, and that was like her assigned nurse. I didn't know that was the nurse. That was her nurse that worked with me, that I worked underneath at the different hospital. She had 2 jobs. So when I was having a conversation with this lady, she was like, what's your mom's name again? I don't know of too many Dr. Gays. Like, that's not a common name. And she was like, actually, you kind of look like her. I was like, yeah, that might be my mom. Do you work at the prisons in Florence? She was like, yeah, that's your mom. I was like, yeah, I have the same name as her. She actually came downstairs. The white nurse, Nicole, came downstairs and she was like, I see a Maureen Johnson on my roster. And she was like, I thought you were your mom. Because she went under Dr. Johnson and she changed it to Dr. Gay. I was like, yeah, that's my mom. And she was like, yeah, I just wanted to say hi, how are you? If you need anything, I got you. This is the white nurse. So she comes down and she was like, I heard about what's going on down here. Is somebody messing with you? I said, yeah, that nurse over there, Miriam, for whatever reason, she like hazing me. I'm telling you, the most hatred I felt came, like, it was worse than the way like white people hate me. It was worse than the way that white people hate us. I'm telling you, a lot of them been on this. And what I say all this to say, even though my mom intervened and indirectly intervened in that situation, and Nicole had to let her know, like, leave her alone because her mom will clock in here and you will end up losing your job, girl. I'm telling you, her mom will clock in about her. Leave her alone, okay? Matter of fact, I'm going to switch her unit, so you leave her alone. Imagine if I didn't have my mom. Imagine how many African Americans have been talking about how they've been being treated at their job, at the place where they gotta make their money. Imagine having to go through that on a daily basis and not have anybody to protect you. I'm telling you, if you experience this, whether you're a patient or you work alongside them, immediately report them to the board. Because what ends up happening, don't tolerate it. Immediately report them to the board. Immediately, I'm talking immediately report them to the board. Because what happens is, upon impending investigation, it stops their money. It stops their bag. Start showing them exactly what the fuck they need to see. That your time here is just as fragile as anybody else's. You can go. You know how insane you fucking sound coming over to America and complaining about the African Americans here that built the system that you're currently eating off of? You know how dumb you look being on live complaining about African Americans? It's literally biting the hand that is currently fucking feeding you. That's exactly what that is. Look it up. My ancestors built this system. Carved the pathway, held the door open, propped that bitch open so that you and yours could also eat too. Only for you to get on live and start talking shit about the people that you treat and laughing and joking about not treating them well. That's why you lost your job. And now that video is global, which means the likelihood of you getting another job in the medical field is slim you none. Because guess what, baby? They didn't want to hire your ass anyways. They don't want to hire your ass anyways. They didn't want to give you those credentials anyways. And they're all too happy to keep a diamond in their pocket. I'm not sure what America you thought you was in. But you going and got the game fucked up. Like I said, there was a lot of Africans that worked at the same place as me that treated me exceptional. But the ones that are full of hatred, self-hatred at that, they are ruining it for everybody else. And what's going to happen is the door's going to be locked. The door is going to start being locked. The door is going to start being locked. Y'all not going to be able to get in. And you won't have African Americans to advocate for you. You won't have anybody to speak up on your behalf. Because what's going to happen is y'all going to be locked out of those places and spaces. And you'll all end up being all for the people that don't know how to put their hatred aside. The door's going to start being locked for everybody. I genuinely believe that this is not a one-off situation, that there's a large group of them. And it's not just in the medical field, it's in almost every single industry in America. Which is exactly why y'all saw the reaction y'all saw about Essence Fest. These are the same people trying to tell us what our culture is and saying that we don't have culture. And then when we show our culture that our ancestors brought over here and how we metamorphed it into what we could after going through the transatlantic slave trade, these are the same people that'll then disrespect our ancestors while simultaneously eating off of our ancestors' work. Insanity. And I hope you know that the white people that you're trying to impress are looking at you like you a fucking fool. Looking at you sideways. Yeah, they talk shit about you behind your back to us and laugh like, oh my God. Oh my God. I can't believe them people would do that. Yeah, them same people, them same white folks that y'all be trying to impress will come talk shit about you to us.
So that last post that I made about how the African nurse threatened to tell like other doctors not to help Black American patients, right? There are people in the comments saying, oh, you know, she was joking and I don't think she would risk her license to do that. It's almost like people don't be around. Like, where do you be with? You ain't never heard the Tuskegee experiments? You don't see these nurses getting on here every day talk about they was hurting, they don't want to work with certain people, and certain people be whining. You ain't seen the studies where they think that Black people can handle more pain. You don't see the white patients that say they don't want a Black nurse. Like, you don't think if the roles were reversed, you don't think if they had the power to do something to a sick person that they do not like for whatever reason, they wouldn't do it? This is why this is why people don't learn their lessons, because y'all don't pay attention. The patterns are there. And I always joke, I always say, because I do tarot readings, I always say, am I psychic or are people predictable? The patterns be there. Look around.
Good evening to my African people. I want to tell you, leave Black American alone who decide to identify themselves as FBA. Please, I'm begging you in the name of God. Everybody on this planet have the right to decide as to who and how they want to identify themselves. If some American identify themselves as African American, fine. If others identify themselves as Native, fine. If others say they are white, fine. Can we just... The fight is just too toxic. Honestly, for me, the only reason why I got involved, it was because when I saw that video that said boycott all African businesses and take on them if you see them in your midst. That was the only two reasons I ever got involved in this discussion. And I was angry because if you say take on them if you see them in your midst, that means beat on the person, attack the person. And when you say boycott all African businesses, you got African businesses in different sectors. So boycott African businesses. That was the reason why she deleted her video and came back and said, oh, boycott African and braiding shop, because she knew the statement that she made from the beginning was not appropriate. So stop going to FBA platform and insisting on them to be African, because it can be annoying. If I choose I don't want to be a Ghanaian, you can't force me. If I choose I don't want to be a Liberian, you can't force me. Stop insisting. The African American were never called African American anyway. From the beginning they were called Negro, from Negro to Afro, then from Afro to African. So if they choose that they no longer want to be called African, don't bother them, please. It's enough. We all have children. African American have children. The native Black American that say they are indigenous have children. African immigrant have children. Other national have children. What we are building a hate. We are building a hate that will extend to our children. I am not a hateful person. I don't carry hatefulness in my blood. I'm just a person who just speak my mind. Like when I see something the way it is and I'm angry at that moment, I just say it and be done. I don't keep it in my mind. I don't go to bed thinking about issues. No. The only thing I go to bed thinking is, before I go to bed, I kneel down and I pray, God, please help President Trump. Please bless our state security. Please guard the police. Lord, they are fighting against gang. Father, protect them from unseen bullets. Father, keep the President of America healthy. Keep our congressmen and women healthy. Lord, help the president to make peace with other nations that don't want peace. That's the only thing leave on my mind before I go to bed. I don't go to bed calculating how I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning. I understand that some of you are doing TikTok contents, so you have to say something that will trigger people to follow, to share your video and follow your page. But it's enough. Those of you that are living in Africa, leave this thing alone. Because you are sitting there in Africa, you are sitting in your bedroom, you are making a video. It thinks like it is everybody in the US that is responding to the FBA. It's enough. I have responded to FBA and I said my own. Except I see a video that is made by an FBA person attacking me, that's the only time I will respond to them. If they don't attack me, if they just made their video, I ain't never going to respond to them. It's enough. It's really, 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 really enough. It's really, really enough. I'm 54. I'm not young. I'm an old woman. If they say, oh, Africa take up to Black American culture with their clothing, yes, it was out of love. It was out of love that Africans were dressing like Black American. It was out of love that Africans were playing Black American music. It was not out of envy. It was trying to identify with you, that even though you are across the Atlantic, your brothers on the continent still see what you are doing and they align themselves with you. It was out of love that Kwame Nkrumah and the rest of the team that came here to join them for the civil rights movement protests. It was out of love. It is still out of love that a lot of African countries have a constitution that says only Negro descent can become citizen in Africa. It was only out of love. It is out of love that other people have received a reparation and the Black community could not receive. It was out of love that the African Union decided to include Black America, to push so that the American government can grant them their reparation. It is only out of love. So if a group of people sit down and think that it is not out of love, that it is out of greed, it is out of, please, it's enough. It's enough. I'm begging African, please. I'm not begging the FBA. I'm begging Africans and I'm begging the African American. Leave the FBA alone. Let them do whatever they want to do. Let them say whatever they want to say. Leave them. Because we all cannot go down the street of this madness. We can't. Some of us were not built to take hate. Some of us were not built to fight on negativity. Some of us were built to stand for justice, to advocate for justice. That's one of the reasons why I supported Trump. Because I won't see justice given to everybody. But the level of bitterness and hate it is building, it is just too much. And to the FBA, you want to go to court with me? I'm prepared. I am prepared to go to court with you. I am not afraid of going to court. As long what I know or what I said is not premeditated. As long I do not have a bad intention. Whatever way you cook your story, it's not going to work. You're not going to win. You will never win. Because you know why? The Bible says that God sees the heart of a person and he rewards them according to their hearts. Yes, that's why when Martin Luther King and the rest were marching down the street of Alabama, they were singing gospel song. Yeah. So to you FBA, go keep on coping up your story, editing video, doing whatever you want to do. It's up to you. It's not up to me. It's up to you. This life that we live, we all will perish. But there's a great creator above that we all will answer to for. Everything we say on this earth, we will answer before God. Everything we do, we will answer before God. All the money we earn, we will leave it and we will answer before God. So what I fight for is good reputation. What I fight for is being good to another person so that when tomorrow, when I'm dead and gone, my spirit will be free to stand before God. Not fearing that I betray somebody. Not fearing that I hurt somebody. Not fearing that I had negative things in my mind towards other people. That's the only thing I fear. Everything I stand for, I always look at what God's opinion is before I speak. God bless you. Have a good night.
Hey, I don't know if it was my fault, but I ran into the African lady that I had on my page. Just at like 100K views and shit. I'm just scrolling. Familiar? I instantly joined, right? Watch this real quick. I sent a couple comments, but I told her, I said, you must regret. I said, you regret what you said yet? She said, no, I do not forget what I said. I said regret, not forget. Learn English. What the fuck going on? Y'all watch this.
Get this video. I downloaded it. To analyze us. So never.
So allegedly, she has been fired. I've been hearing from a lot of sources. She was a nurse, and what she said in that live was she did regret what she said about the doctors because she was a nurse. I wonder why she going live now. She ain't got shit else better to do but try to create a following on TikTok for some shit she said. And I don't think she realized she knows she done fucked up. I don't know if it was my video that made it happen. I don't know, but I'm just glad.
So this lady chose not to mind her business and side with the Africans, with the African versus Black American war. Listen to what she said. She needs to shut up.
Look, I'm about to not mind my business, but I don't care. I am so enjoying this beef. I don't know what happened. I don't know why y'all Americans went to do that to yourselves. But now the war between Africans and Americans right now, what is going on? Why did you guys go do that to yourselves? Why did you guys... Yo, these Africans are coming for y'all. Obviously, I'm not American. I'm Canadian, but yo, y'all started something that I don't think you were ready for.
Ray and your minions, let's see how this is going for the Africans.
All the different video children were involved and all those things. Do you know I went and opened my mouth at the time? That was my real age, my real name, first name, last name. Do you know the people went and searched me, found my husband on IG, found my job? Do you know the people that went and they pulled me out of my unit to investigate me because they say I was on here discriminating against AA? So it was you? I'm telling yeah. It was you? That was me. That's how I managed to come up here and change everything around. They put me on my unit, put me on an investigation, and they said I have a problem with AA people, and I'm supposed to be helping everybody. I'm supposed to be working for everybody. This is what I mean. So this is not just about this app. It's beyond this app, my sister. This is no joke.
So you see, Ray, the very racist rhetoric that the Africans are spewing toward Black Americans simply for saying we're going to boycott and that you think is funny is costing them their jobs. African Americans, Black Americans play chess, not checkers. Next time, mind your business, sweetheart. Goodbye.
An African nurse who came on here and said she was going to deny Black Americans the right and accessibility to healthcare from her and her community, understand that you have unwrapped some shit, right? Black Americans don't trust the healthcare system. Black Americans have been burned, have been betrayed, have been denied, right? We're oppressed when it's concerning the healthcare system. We've experienced injustice when it's concerning the healthcare system, right? We're paranoid. We don't want to be around the doctors. We don't want to be around the nurses. We don't want to be in the hospitals, right? Coming on here saying that basically Africans don't want to give us care is going to write yourself out, because guess what? They're paranoid, right? We're paranoid. We don't know what your intentions are because we see our people passing away and expiring because of the negligence and the lack of concern and care and desire to care for us. We see it happen to our people every single day. So to willingly give out that information is wild to me, because if you're not caring for Black Americans, who are you caring for? Because these same white people don't even want Black Americans working and caring for them. So what makes you think that they're going to want an African with an accent, right? You're going to have to degrade yourself and deal with the racism that comes with that community, right? No one has been on here talking about boycotting shit more than Africans. I haven't heard about boycotting African hair braiding shops from anyone more than the Africans, right? To get on here and deny the group of people who are at the center of being denied the accessibility to fair health care, saying you're going to deny them too, and the group of people who initially started don't even admit no shit like that. That's wild to me. It's not very wise.
Who have sat on FBA panels have had their jobs called and they're complaining of harassment.
All right. Here we go about the African nurses. 3 was on a AA panel talking about African American and spirit hate. And I keep telling people, do you want TikTok or do you want your license? Or do you want your job? As a nurse, y'all, let me explain. We can't be biased and hate nobody. That's the oath we take. But I do know people that come from other countries. Maybe they don't take that oath of nursing serious. Me being born in the United States, I take nursing very, very serious. Very, very serious. That's all I know since I was 19 years old, y'all. So y'all come over here thinking y'all can say what you want to say. You can't. You're professionals. Now, you can kiki a little bit, you know. We can curse. As long as you're not doing anything hateful and hating anybody. Is it worth it to keep on spreading hate? And the sad hate is when we spread that hate amongst ourselves. I mean, come on, y'all. We can do a little bit better than that anyway. So I just came out here to let you know those nurses was pulled off their unit. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. Because if you out here saying you hate the whole subset of people, that the whole category of 9 times out of 10 you're taking care of here in the United States, which is Black American people, you deserve to be fired. And perhaps you should go back to Africa. And I say that respectfully. I do. I say that if you don't like it here, and if you don't like African American people, go back to Africa. See, I know people don't remember my first post, but I have a problem even with some of these Filipinos that come over here on this nurses license. They come over here to work because we have a shortage. I have a problem with all that because I know how my husband, my family got here, and they was not treated. They were treated totally differently. So I'm still American. Don't forget that, y'all. Don't ever forget I'm still American. And I love my country, even though my country don't love me most of the time. But it is what it is because it's my country. But you don't come over here saying you don't like us. You don't come over here saying you don't like the super people. Unfortunately, you are the super people too, but I don't know. It's just like you got a cousin. African American people and Africans is like this. You got the Africans that feel like the African American are the cousins with the money, and they bougie, and they got it easy. They got it good because our government. So they hold some type of hatred, and I don't understand that because the ones of the African Americans that was here was entrapped and enslaved in here and was oppressed for 400 plus years. So we didn't ask to be here. That's just what our fate was. So when I hear Black Americans and African Americans going at each other, I be like, okay, I guess they mad at their rich cousins. Because I can tell you when I'm in Africa, I don't think they see me as African, y'all. They just see me as American, and they see us. It don't matter your income bracket, because you remember about $1,500 to $2,000 American dollars, about $1 million of their dollars over there, nairs. So they just see you over here with money. They think everybody over here has money. They just don't know any better because that's all they are shown. So when they get here and they find out how hard the life really is and what we really have did to dug in to make ourselves successful here, it's another type of animosity that there is. And when they get here and they see that, a lot of the Black Americans are able to stand up, speak up, and be up front. And they kind of have to still be in the background, and they still are being treated like immigrants. I don't know whether my husband, I don't know whether they ever was treated as true Americans, because their accent was very, very, very thick. And until you lose that accent, it's a different type of treatment you get here in the United States. But again, y'all, I'm trying to find lessons in all this bull crap here. Nurses who come over here and want to spew out their mouth hate, they shouldn't be on the floor. Are you safe to take care of me and my brown babies, my adopted sister and my great nieces, my brown babies? Are you safe to take care of them? Because apparently you hate them because there's a proportion of yourself you hate. So can I trust you to take care of them? Not if you're talking like that. I would not trust you with my babies. So my lesson is stop hating. Stop hating. And understand that when you decide to be a nurse here in the United States, all your bias go out the window, baby. All your prejudice go out the window. All your racism go out the window, because that's the oath we take. We're here to serve, protect, and keep our country healthy. So if you start standing on that in everything you do in life, and I done had a lot of years to understand it. So maybe a lot of these nurses come over here like her, and they may be 59, 60, but they've only been a nurse like 4 or 5 years because it took them a minute to go back to school to get that license. So they don't have the longevity in this career as I have. So they don't understand. They really don't have the components to understand nothing but going out to work. They're not really invested the time to understand what being a nurse truly is. But being a nurse is about us having no bias. When you decide to take that oath, you decided to say, okay, everybody I see, I will love. unless you do my family or somebody direct. Now I got a problem. But other than that, this hate speech, it's got to stop, y'all. Again, like I always say, this is a single lady with 3 dogs. And I love when you talk back.
Possessed this African nurse to get her ass online talking about she hate black people. I know you took a Hippocratic oath. And whatever your oath is, I'm sure you should have thought about all that before you chose to go online talking about how you hate people. Making yourself look like a fool. I don't know who you think you're impressing. It's probably somebody white you're trying to impress, I'm sure. And you say it with your full chest. Girl, nobody give a fuck about who you like. You too old to get on here talking about who you like and who you don't like. You think somebody gonna lose some sleep? God got you.
I keep telling y'all. I already have like seven nurses under my belt that got fired because they was talking crazy on our land. This time it wasn't me. And I heard that lady got fired from her job because she wanted to tell doctors and nurses to not do service to black Americans. Like, it just becomes too easy. So I highly recommend y'all not disrespect, denigrate, and say nasty, vile, demonic things to black Americans on our land. Y'all keep doing it. This is not Africa. This is not whatever country y'all from. You can't just say anything degenerate, then you're gonna get away from it. Then you're gonna get away with it, excuse me. So, shout out to her, but yeah, I heard that lady got fired. Keep telling y'all better stop. You're in your heels.
Honey, did you guys see the video? At this point, you guys should have seen the video of the nurse saying she was gonna tell other African providers to not provide care for African Americans. And then there was the other nurse who was like the 59-year-old nurse who was screaming how much she hated us, okay? And I think they both have received some repercussions from those. But people are like, oh, they wouldn't risk their license. They were joking. Honey, I've worked in nursing homes. I've been in hospital settings, and I can tell you they're not joking. How they treat people is crazy. I have worked with non-black Americans who have had proximity to care, and I've seen the care that they provide, to the point where I used to tell families, come check on your family. Come check on your family, because the ones who they know families are not coming, they treat them the worst. I worked in a Alzheimer's and dementia facility where they were tying residents to the pole with sheets. Okay, the things they were doing, I called the state and I left and I said, this is illegal. You cannot treat people like this. How are you tying someone's loved one by their waist to a jerry chair and to a pole so that they cannot move? I have watched, what got me in the industry was because I had to put my father in a nursing home, and I watched the level of care. I watched his call bell be on and me come and him say, no one has come to take me to the bathroom, and them purposely treat my father a certain way because they had to care for him. I have watched how when I would leave town, and they knew like I had to leave town for a couple of days, I would always come back to they had did some bullshit to my father. Like, it's not a game. They're not joking, and they really do treat them like shit in the medical industry. So imagine caring for someone who ancestrally you hate. Okay? So like if they're treating white patients like this, and then the sprinkle of black people within these facilities as well, honey, they were not joking.
So where you gonna work at? Farms hiring? You want to work on the farm? Or you want to work on the railroad? You want to work on the railroad? Maybe sweep out the caboose? That's what you want to do? Or you could just go home. You want to go home? We'll send you home. I'll send you home personally. You want to go home? See, this is what happens when you threaten black Americans. You will lose your job. They probably got her on the list for ISIS. It's time to go home, boo-boo. You cannot stay in this country and threaten its citizens. So for all you knuckleheads out here that they want to get on the bandwagon of threatening black Americans, you know what I'm saying? Us versus them. You want to go to war? You want to go to war, black Americans?
You're going to lose your job, your income, and they liable to send you back home. So let that be the lesson.